Welcome everyone to Irons United. This is a very brief preview of the West Ham Bournemouth game, which is on New Year's Day. It's going to be brief because I'm sure you all want to go out and enjoy yourselves, as do I. So I'm going to give you a few stats on West Ham Bournemouth. Obviously, it's David Moyes' first game back in charge of the team. So what have we got to look forward to? Well, we've played Bournemouth 9 times in the Premier League. We've lost 4, drawn 3, and only won 2. And those 2 were several years back when Payet was in the team. This is David Moyes' first game in charge of West Ham in his second spell. He was manager for both games in his last tenure at West Ham. Both games were drawn, 3-3 at Bournemouth and 1-1 at home. In the games that we played Bournemouth, we've not always done too well against them. They've always sort of matched us like for like. They're only 1 place and 1 point above us in the league. So they're doing equally as badly as we are, to be quite honest with you. They've scored only 21 goals this season, but they've conceded a whopping 36, and that's even more than we have. Of course, there's always one player that we have to look out for in the squad. They've got a decent squad. I think on paper we've got a better squad than them, but they've got a decent squad. But the 2 players, or 1 player that we certainly should be looking out for is Callum Wilson, of course. He's scored 7 goals in 9 Premier League games against us. And if that isn't enough, then of course we've got Joshua King, who's scored 5 goals against us in the Premier League. So they're two players who are both likely to play, and if they do, we know what's going to happen. We know that we've got to close them down, and we've got to keep tight against them. Bournemouth, there was all this crying out for Eddie Howe to come and manage West Ham, but I don't know. I've never been an advocate for Eddie Howe. I think he's a decent manager, but it's kind of he's not been doing any better than what Pellegrini did at West Ham. You know, only 1 place and 1 point above us. So tomorrow, if we beat them, we could go above them. And boy, do we need a win. As I said, it's David Moyes' second tenure back in charge. I know a lot of fans are unhappy. I've got to be honest. I don't mind David Moyes. I think he's an okay manager. I'm not inspired by him, to be really honest with you. But I'm not. I just let's see. I think what he will do is going to make us very hard to beat, isn't he? And what he did the last time he took over from Bilic was that we drew an awful lot of games. We may not have been winning as many, but we drew an awful lot. Now, Moyes' last tenure with us is a 29% win rate, which kind of. Bit weird, bit scary, is worse than Pellegrini's win rate. But I think what Moyes did, as I said, is he stopped us losing. You know, so he tightened up the defence. He went for a 3-5-2 formation or 3-5-1-1 formation. He tightened it up in defence, and he made it difficult for us to be beaten against. So that's what I'm hoping for. Now, I don't know. I've been pondering. You know, will he go for a 3-5-2 again? I'm not so sure, because I don't think he's kind of got the players at West Ham to play that system. Last time, if you recall, when he took over West Ham last time, he had to put Cresswell alongside, what was it, Ogbonna and, whoever else that was playing at the time. That's how he got his 3 at the back, and then he played Masuaku as wing back and whoever, I can't remember. But anyway, the reason why he played a three at the back and a 5 midfield with wing backs was because he had the players, or he had to adjust the team accordingly. Will he do that in his second tenure? I actually don't. I hope not, because if he does, for me, the scary thing is that means Masuaku is likely to come back into the team with Fredericks and Masuaku either side, and with the 3 at the back, probably Diop, Balbuena and Ogbonna. But then it means you're going to end up losing one of your better players up front. He'll most certainly play someone like Rice and Noble in the middle, and then he's going to go for, well, who's going to go alongside Allaire? You know, then you've got a choice between Fornals, Lanzini, Anderson, and so on, and one of those players is going to miss out. Now, what I think he should do in tomorrow's game, he's only had one training session, maybe 2. I think he should stick with a 4-4-2. I think he should help Allaire up front, and put Antonio with him, or put Anderson just behind him, and then go with a flat back four and a flat midfield four as well. And I think that we've got the players that will offer him that opportunity to play that system. If he plays with a 3-5-2, you know, as I've just said, someone's going to miss out. One of our flair players, maybe Lanzini, maybe Antonio, maybe Anderson, maybe Fornals. You know, Fornals has been playing quite decently lately, as we know Antonio has, although we don't know about if he's injured or not. I've heard that he's got a fully fit squad, and apparently only Yarmolenko is kind of the only player that's recently been playing that's out. Fabianski's still in, which is good. Creswell will be back from his suspension, thank God, because Masuaku, people, is just rubbish. Sanchez, I hope, never sets foot on the pitch again in a West Ham shirt, because the first goal conceded against Leicester was Masuaku's fault, and the second goal conceded against Leicester was Sanchez's fault, and I really don't want to see either player on the pitch. I would rather go for Fabianski in goal, Fredericks, Diop, Ogbonna, and Creswell at the back. In the midfield, either Anderson or Antonio on the right, Fornals out on the left, Noble and Rice in the middle, and then up front, either Anderson or Antonio alongside Allaire. And I think with the mindset that Moyes has, he's going to make us a lot more defensive minded, and he's going to make us a lot harder to play through. And that's the problem with West Ham. You know, teams have been cutting through us like butter through a knife through butter. Okay, it was really short. I'm sorry, it's not much more detailed than this. Let me just recap. We played them 9 times in the Premier League. We've lost 4. We've drawn 3. We've won only 2, and that was in the time when Payet was around. This is David Moyes' second spell. I wish him luck. Of course, we all do. All West Ham fans wanna wish him luck. He managed the team in his first tenure against Bournemouth twice, both home and away, which we drew both games. Bournemouth aren't doing that well, as I've said. The last win they had was away to Chelsea. The irony, you know, that's like us in a way. They're only 1 point above us, only one place above us. And as I've said, they conceded more goals than us this season. We've conceded 33, they conceded 36. I'll be there, of course, wishing the team well, cheering the team on. We always cheer the team on until there's nothing to cheer about. We really hope it's going to be a new era under Moyes. You know, a lot of fans never wanted him to go. But then we all got carried away, didn't we, with the lure of a Premier League winner in Pellegrini. And even I was advocating how fantastic that was, and look how that fell apart. We've heard that there's going to be a lot of changes to the backroom staff. He's already got Irving in and others on their way. Maybe Stuart Pearce might be coming back as well. So long as he strengthens that team, I really hope the board give him some money, because there's a couple of really decent midfielders out there that he could buy that would really strengthen our midfield. A proper box-to-box midfielder that we haven't had since Chiati. And I know Chiati was a bit hit and miss, but literally we haven't had a proper box-to-box midfielder since him. So I hope the board invest in him. I hope the board give him money. He needs to go out and buy a striker, first off. We need a number 9. We need a striker who's going to play alongside Allaire, so it gives us more options in midfield. You can drop Antonio into the middle rather than playing him as a striker, because he's done really well, but he's not an out-and-out striker, is he? We need someone, a goal-hungry player that will score goals for fun. You know, and there's a whole load of names that have been listed and we've been mentioned, but Olivier Giroud is not one of them. Trust me, we're not buying a 33-year-old player. I think that's absolute suicide. Might as well have kept Andy Carroll, for that matter. Mind you, Giroud is better than Carroll. Anyway, that's it. Leave your comments. I wish you all from Irons United, we all wish you a happy new year. Let's start the new year with a win at home against Bournemouth tomorrow, and then we're off to Gillingham. I won't be doing my Sunday show because I'll be at Gillingham, so I might bring it, one day next week instead. So up the hammers, come on you Irons, and Happy New Year.